Let's drop that old one that we used to do back in the days.
What's up, people?
What up, dude?
What's up, Detroiters? Welcome to
The People Mover podcast,
where every week we discuss everything from life lessons, living in Detroit, life experiences, dating, pop culture, relationships, and much, much more.
We explore the power of social connection through conversation. We literally want to move the people.
It's your host, Miracle, and our other host,
Malcolm Elliott. We are joined today by a very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people who you are.
What's up, y'all? Regular guy here. My name is Darius.
Let's go. And this is episode
12.
12.
This is episode 12.
Episode 12.
And honestly, you might be our last guest for the year.
This No, it's really episode 13 because we ain't never fuck with 12. So this episode 13. We ain't never fuck with 12. It's episode 13. You
Actually,
feel me?
fucking screaming. No, actually, facts. So you're from Detroit?
My whole life, yes, ma'am. Since 95.
Tell the people what side you're on.
West Side, folks.
The best side.
We're East Siders over here,
already
though,
Dave
for
already.
real.
Currently a Joey World boy, so.
Oh, exit 9 off the freeway.
Yes, sir. That's me.
So, say you live over there. How many times in your life have you been to the Murder Mac?
I ain't gonna hold you up. My first year living over there, I was going over there all the time because it was convenient. And then somebody got shot up there, so I was like, I don't mind the drive.
Right,
So,
that's
like,
every
the
Detroit
other
story.
way.
I used to live on Dre Road before I moved over on 7 Mile. And I'm like, I had to think about it, like even growing up there as a child, I'm like, how many times? I was like, I could probably count on one hand how many times I actually been to the Murder Mac. So I'm like, let me ask you, since you live over there.
I mean, it was either late last year or earlier this year. Somebody took a police officer's gun, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy over there.
Niggas is different.
Yeah, other side of Southfield. No, I'm on the other side. You feel me?
The other side.
You feel me?
And
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, we also forgot to tell y'all this is the Christmas episode.
Woo!
Thus
If you
the
guys
ugly
didn't
sweater
notice.
and the and the
Damn, I
hat.
should have said I'm an elf today and not my name. I was Austin Powers for the Halloween episode.
Halloween episode. We got themed episodes. We're a real podcast. You feel me?
Oh, that's what's up.
I want to thank PBS for this ugly Christmas sweater. You feel me? Back during the pandemic, I had a viral tweet where I forgot what the meme I used, but then PBS mentioned me and then they DM me and asked me for my address and they sent me this ugly Christmas
Oh
sweater.
my
So,
Wow, that's
God.
since I love PBS, but
That
I
is
was
so
like,
cool.
wow. Thanks PBS
Did y'all watch PBS Kids?
for sure,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
They're
everybody
good
grew up
shows.
on that.
Did they have Caillou?
I feel like they had Caillou, they had Zoom.
Franklin.
Man, what? They had so much stuff.
Yeah. Shout out to PBS Kids.
PBS Kids for viewers like you. Thank you.
Exactly. So, outside of just being a regular guy, I'm sure you do more things. Like, what do you do? Like, do you own a business or like?
Okay, I had a business for like a year. It was not fun, so I let it go. But right now, I'm doing a 9-to-5, which is medical waste. It's crazy, but it's not as bad as everybody think. You feel me? So we basically go into hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, tattoo, funeral homes, anywhere that deals with the human body. You feel me? And we make sure that the waste is taken care of properly, and then we remove it.
I feel like that's a crazy job. Like what you just described. I'm like,
Oh yeah, no, it's
How'd you even find the interest in this?
I had no interest in this.
I didn't. It found me.
You feel me?
It
It's
actually
like-
found me.
How do you like it?
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it's from anybody else's perspective from mine. It is very nasty, but it's an easy job.
Yeah,
like,
I was asking you earlier. I'm like, you're like, I see really gross shit.
Oh, bro, anything from needles to body parts.
Literally.
and bodily fluids, all of that type of stuff.
What's the craziest shit you seen on the job?
The craziest thing I've seen on the job that I can talk about
Oh,
is probably somebody's foot in the bin.
oh
You feel me?
God.
But besides that, I see
Freaky.
dead bodies, you feel me, like
Yeah.
opened up on a regular because I have to service funeral homes.
Yeah.
You feel me?
What
So
crazy.
that sometimes it's not always older people. You feel me? Like all types of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
Right.
know exactly.
So
Mm.
yeah, you have to desensitize yourself in a way. All of that stuff has to go somewhere. It can't just
Right.
go in the trash.
Someone has to like do it also.
Yep.
So you never been like squeamish, like, cause seeing that type of
Yeah.
shit. Like, I feel like I see that shit and be like, I'm gonna need therapy for this. This is
Okay.
gonna take
Yeah.
healing. This is
So-
No, I'm not gonna lie. How are you mentally, psychologically?
I'm perfectly fine. I mean, like, look, it's 2025. We watch movies and TV shows that show gore and all of that type of stuff, and it's
Right.
perfectly fine because it's behind the screen. So it's no different for
Yeah.
me. It's like if I see something like a dead body or guts or whatever, if I can relate that to being a movie prop, like if I can see that, I can see this. It's really not that much different.
Mm.
You feel me? So it's like I'm not gonna in person be squeamish of something that I'm not squeamish for if I watch it on TV. I guess it's a mental thing.
Yeah, no,
That's real.
that makes sense. And you do just train yourself over time, and you do kind of become desensitized to it. And
Yeah, I mean,
you're able to like put yourself
see, it's
apart. from it.
different because everything that I
Yeah.
deal with is dead. Now imagine if a person was alive, like that might be different.
Yeah,
But maybe not because if I can see it on TV, I can pretty much deal with it in real life.
Mm.
yeah. And also, I wanted to talk about because Malcolm was telling me earlier, you're really big into like conspiracy theories, and like a lot of people in medicine are also like, wow, even medicine can't explain how like crazy and amazing the human body is. And I don't know how you feel. This is the Christmas episode.
I
He
mean,
is the reason for the season.
speaking of another person who was dead and rose from the grave.
Yeah. Exactly.
What is your
Non-surgically,
opinions?
but like literally.
Okay, so first of all, are you religious at all? Like, are you religious at all?
No, I don't think I'm religious, but
How would you describe your personal journey, faith, and things like that?
okay, I grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But now it's not like I'm going to church every Sunday.
Right.
You know, I know I've been to Bible study. I've been to Sunday school
Mm-hmm.
my whole life. But yeah, it's like after a while, like you gotta grow up and figure out if that's what you want to do when you get older. So
Mm.
my path with the church and stuff, it changed a lot by the time I got to college and
Mhm.
started looking into stuff for myself. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I do believe in God and I do believe in Jesus. Like my whole thing is because it's probably biased because I was raised that way, but the Bible and Jesus and God and the Trinity is like that's my foundation. So it's
Mhm.
like when I look out into the world, I'm gonna make it make sense through the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it's like that's not for everybody, but for me
Right.
personally, the Bible is the one book in the world
Mm-hmm.
that when it's talk about prophecies, everything that it has said has came to pass,
Mm.
and everything that you feel me, somebody
Yeah.
want to prove,
Mm.
somebody done already proved it to be. So it's like if this is a book that ain't lying, I'ma just look into it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not religious. I look into other people's religion too. You feel me? Like I'm not practicing. You feel me? Anything.
Word.
But I will
Yeah.
inform myself about what's going on because even if you're a Christian, bro, you need to learn about everything else that's around you because the Bible talks about it.
Mm.
And the
So,
Bible also says how like Christ is God's son. Some religions don't believe God's son is Christ. Like, how do you view Christ? Like, who
okay, the way
who do you think he is?
I believe Jesus is who he says he is. You feel me? And I honestly believe that every other religion can be explained too. I mean, this is explained in the books of the Bible, and then you got the apocrypha text. You feel me? That's books that's not in the Bible, but you have to, you feel me, do your own research to figure out like what's legitimate and what's not. What I've come to figure out between like the legitimacy of like text is it has to pass one thing for me. If it said here, 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 and here at all different times and they all saying the same thing, that must be the truth.
Mm.
Like, it's not a game of telephone. Because if it is, this is a telephone game over generations,
Mm-hmm.
and they all saying the same thing.
Right.
And it's like the Bible isn't really just a book; it's a codex. Like you really have to be able to understand the messages of the Bible. Like, yeah, it can be read literally because these are literal events that happen, but it's actually allegorical too.
So, what's your opinion on Christmas? Like, how do you feel about it?
What is
as
the
a-
reason?
like, how do you feel about it as a holiday overall, from
Um,
from a social standpoint and a personal
Yeah,
standpoint?
exactly. Because a lot of people are like, is it a pagan holiday? Is it not a pagan holiday?
You know what? Hold on.
Who are the pagans? Is,
They're just people who don't have like a like instilled belief. They're
you know, I
kinda
think it's
like
all
the-
capitalism. It's all this
Right, but,
Valentine's
like-
Day. Jesus wasn't even born in
right.
the
The
code.
pagans are like man-made stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like most people who are like,
Religion is man-made.
I mean, I guess so. But some people are like, religion is just like the belief in God, and He's always been around. But like people who are pagans are like, all of this shit is man-made. It's not about anything. It's about Santa Claus and gifts and like spending time with your family. And
They turned Easter into the Easter bunny, but we know Easter is supposed to be the resurrection. of
And
Jesus
people can
Christ.
debate that could be a pagan holiday as well.
Okay, so
So
when you talk about pagan
we all made it
holiday,
up, kind of.
I mean, yeah.
There's no
people-
Christmas in the Bible.
Well, yeah, no, it's not a Christmas in the Bible. And actually, there's a verse in the Bible that tells you to stay away from doing doing the celebration of Christmas. I'll read it for y'all if y'all want it. But
Dun, dun, dun.
it's like
No
the way-
Christmas. Like you shouldn't be celebrating it. You don't think?
I mean, that's not what I think. That's what the Bible say. It's like if you go to Jeremiah chapter 10, read verse 1 to I think like verse 10, and it'll sit there and it'll tell you what it is. See, the thing is, every culture and people, you feel me, they got their own traditions, customs, and religions. And, you know, when people get shuffled around, you adopt other people's practices. You feel me? Like what we know as Christians today, when they first started out, they did not have a Christmas. You feel me? Like there was an emperor called Constantine who had a problem with Christians and pagans. He needed to stop the, disruption between them. So he put everything together. Like he straight up told them, like, look, everybody gonna be Christian. But y'all can still do what y'all wanna do.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then we adopt practices. But yeah, if you go to Jeremiah Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1, and just read down, God straight up tell you, first of all, don't practice other people's customs. Like that's number one. Number two, don't put no tree up because the tree represents something. You feel me?
She's so hurt about the tree.
I have a tree in my house.
See, when
In my
people
apartment.
talk about theories or conspiracies or whatever, like you're gonna hear a bunch, and you can look up on Google or wherever you want to look up, and there's gonna be a bunch of different stories about where Christmas come from. But these come from different cultures of people. So just because I'm Christian, you feel me, and my Bible tell me that I can't do this, if like let's say somebody over there in Switzerland and they're not Christian, but they got their own customs and traditions. They don't believe in Jesus. So I'm not about to sit here and say, oh, what y'all doing is pagan. Like y'all, they not even Christian. Like what are we talking about?
As a Christian, do you think like the way to heaven is through Jesus? Do you think people who don't believe Jesus is the Son of God are gonna go to heaven?
Okay, see, man, that's kind of iffy to touch on. Like I believe that Jesus is the only way through heaven because Jesus said, I'm the only way through heaven. But a part of me feel like people get second chances and don't even know it. Like,
Can you get a second chance at the end?
see, this is what I mean when I say I'm not Christian. Okay, like I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe in God the Father, but life, like this whole thing that we call reality, or some people call it a matrix or the simulation, like it's so much more to the picture that we don't know and we don't understand.
Right. It's not even spelled for us to know or understand.
Yeah, we
You feel
can
me?
never wrap our head around.
We
So
wouldn't even be able to fathom the shit. You feel me?
what I understand is, it's like if God in the Bible himself can give credence to other peoples and other gods, you feel me? Like, first of all, it's just a personal belief.
Wait, the Christian God is like, I am the one and only. There's no other gods.
But
Do you think
didn't
there could be
he
multiple?
have like, you hear about a war between God and a whole nother God's nation, and God said, I will conquer their gods. See, I understand the Bible in a totally different way, right? So
Right.
I'm going to paint a picture for y'all. God the Father is the big G. God the Son is also a big G. And then all the other gods that we hear about from other people's
the
religion.
sun
This is
god
my
and the
personal
moon
opinion.
god,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that this is what's real.
Right.
My
Right.
personal opinion, based off of the knowledge I've collected
Right.
from other people's cultures, traditions, and religions that I try to make fit the Bible. Okay,
Facts,
that is
okay.
not right, but this is
Right.
what I do. I think all of the other gods, right, are what the fallen angels were. Or they were beings, you feel me, that God gave authority. Like the Genesis story, you feel me, is a lot more, it's a lot more bigger than people think. Like something
That would make
happened.
sense though. Like
You feel me? Like
honestly.
when I read it, you feel me, I hear God creating everything, right? And then there's other verses in different places of the Bible where it was like, the sons of God rejoiced, yada, yada, yada. And then you get different text that's not in the Bible that kind of explains what happened before, humans got created. You feel me? Like I just try to soak everything in and try to figure out, like, does this sound like it fit? Like, does this sound like this
And
works
some
with the
things
story?
don't.
No, everything don't, but everything can be explained. Like, yeah, I feel
guess.
like the
Well,
let's
also,
say,
I was gonna ask you. This is so off topic because Genesis talks about like how God made Adam and Eve. God doesn't talk about any other life other than Earth.
okay, now look,
So I'm like, if
This
you
is the
believe
thing.
in like life outside of like Earth, and we're fucking
I'm gonna
huge,
explain that for you right now.
do you think there's like
Yeah, there's aliens that we would consider aliens.
right, but they're not in the Bible? You think
Yes,
that's
they
gonna
are.
debunk
They are definitely
everything
in
the Bible talks about?
See, it's a codex. You have to be able to see that it's in the Bible. See, when what does, first of all, what does the enemy try to do? He mocks God, like not in a provocative. Oh, he tries to be like the
Yeah.
Most High. You feel me? And then, first of all, God does talk about creating other beings. It's in Genesis. He said he made 4 creatures. You feel me? One at the north, south, east, west. And man is only one of these types of creatures. You feel me? And all 4 of these creatures have their own kingdom. People glance right over that because they like, okay, what, I don't know what that means for real. But no, God talked about making like a human species. He made I guess a species that represent like the bird, you feel me? Then he had like the bull and the lion. Like,
Yeah.
and they got their own kingdoms that stretched out from, you feel me? One had a north kingdom, east kingdom, west kingdom, south kingdom. So there we go right there with different beings that God created. Now, me personally, we talking about where I think the other gods come from, though.
Right.
You feel me? Now, if the angels gonna fall, they gonna come down here, and they want to be like God. They gonna come down here. They gonna set up kingdoms, and they gonna also make man or things in their image.
Right.
You feel me? Now, angels, they don't, not all, like, they can have a human appearance, but what you think they raw appearance look like? Not us.
Right.
So when they make things in
crazy
their
shit.
Like
image,
their soul.
Some crazy
you
shit.
feel me?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is to God, we don't even understand what beauty is. Because if you saw a real life angel, you would be afraid, but he think they beautiful. So
If
imagine,
you saw the human body on the inside, you would be afraid.
I mean, exactly. So
We're kinda
imagine
ugly anyway.
if we want to talk about aliens, where did they come from? All of these things do have a higher being that they look to, but there is a higher being of higher beings. He calls himself, Jesus daddy. You feel me? And then Jesus is the son. And Jesus said the only way to heaven is through me. So if it ain't no such thing as aliens, or demons, or what is this war between good and evil? What's the point of Jesus even coming down here and do all of that? He fighting somebody, ain't he? So who he fighting?
Well, what's it like that one comedian said? Was it Eddie Kane or what was it? Where they was talking about like the Christians say Jesus is the way, the Muslims say Muhammad was the way, the Buddhists say Buddha is like or the messenger. You know what I'm saying? But it's like at the end of the day, did you get the message? You know what I'm saying?
See, this is what I think about other religions, bro.
Eddie Griffin, that's what it was.
I don't think other religions teach the wrong thing. You feel me? Like when God first created the earth, like it was set up the same way heaven is. God gave, like the reason why it was kingdoms and stuff down here is because the angels was supposed to be preparing this for us. So they already had beings and angels ruling kingdoms down here. And then you got the war of heaven where Lucifer, the adversary of God, what do you want to do? He wants to rule this.
Right.
So he ain't the 1/3 of heaven. It don't even say that they was in heaven. They could have been down here preparing the creation for us. Like Jesus wanted to come, like wanted to have a place where he could physically go chill and be off the throne, because Big Daddy on the throne. He sits at the right hand. So
Not
Jesus,
Big Daddy, but yeah.
Jesus made this so he could come down here and rule with us, and Lucifer messed it up. You feel me? Like Jesus had it supposed to be set up. So yeah, you got angels or the gods down here already having kingdoms. And you got the adversary. People call him Lucifer. First of all, his name is not Lucifer, and his name not Satan. Those things are titles. His name is never
but that's
named.
what the Bible says, though.
No.
Yes.
The Bible, when they say the word Lucifer, is giving a description. You feel me? It's not a name. Like my name is Darius.
I guess, but like that's just the definition of names anyway. It's always given a description. That's why everything has meaning to
What's
it.
your name?
Fucking miracle.
Okay, so if I went out there and I said, "Can somebody find me a miracle?" Are they gonna find that? Like, is that a description of who you are as a person? No, that's your name. Like that's your personal thing. Like Jesus' name ain't his description. You feel me? Like that's not like his name ain't his title. His title is God, but his name is Jesus. So what we call the
He's
devil,
just a fraction of God.
you feel me? What we call the devil, Lucifer, and Satan, those are just titles. We don't even know who the being's name really is. We just gave them the title based off of the description that somebody in the Bible wrote, which is the morning star.
Yes, somebody in the Bible wrote. Exactly. Because we don't know who has been translating every version and translating everything. I believe in God, but like sometimes I'm like, is the Bible as credible as we're like, oh, it's the oldest book in the history of all books, and people always use that as the solid evidence on why we should trust it. But I'm like, it's been translated however we wanted to. Human beings have edited it, so I'm like, and we're flawed. So I'm like, that's why my relationship with God anyway is very personal. The Bible is good and a great guide, but like we don't really know shit, and I don't agree with every single thing that's in the Bible. Not every single thing.
See, I feel like the first way a person should read the Bible is in its literal sense. Read it like an ancient history book of events that happened, right? And then if you are really curious about what this Bible is talking about, you should go and want to prove for yourself, not because somebody else is telling you. Like, this is why it's so hard for people to believe the Bible, because they don't read it for themselves. They just listen to people talk about it and hear what they like about it and hear what they don't like about it. But if you take every story and you be like, you know what, let me prove if this is right, that's going to send you down a rabbit hole to learn things about the Bible that you didn't even know. And it's going to teach you something that these people in the day knew that was a secret, that the Bible was trying to tell you.
Right.
but you gonna have to go and find it for yourself. You feel me? Because the Bible is supposed to be read in more than one way. Read it like a literal ancient history textbook, and that's gonna lead you on a spiritual journey. And because the Bible is actually an allegory for how the human body actually works, and how to ascend your energy to be a Christ-like being. See, Jesus' whole thing, you feel me? Like the byproduct of him coming down here always was to go save people from their sins, but people don't even know what sin is. You feel me?
Yeah, what do you okay, this is very like not off topic, but like just your opinion, like what do you think is a sin and what do you think is a bad sin, and do you think sin is like all good in God's eyes? Because like some people think like things like gay marriage, that's such a like controversial topic in the religious world, like because that's becoming so open, these days. And it's like, what do you consider a sin? Like, do you think that is a sin? Do you think the Bible talks about it? Do you think God cares?
Okay. First of all, in order to understand what sin is, you have to understand and be unbiased about what the natural order to life is. Then we're not talking about, sex right now. We're talking about the natural order of life. Like, how are the things on the planet and human beings, how are those things supposed to behave in order to keep going on? Anything that disrupts the natural order to people, the planet, like, you feel me? That's what a sin is. You feel me? So, for example, right now, this is peaceful. Anything that I do to disrupt this peace first comes from a thought, a vibrational thought in my mind. You feel me? And then I manifest it within this reality, and I do something to take this peace away. That's what sin is. Sin is the intention to disrupt the natural order of anything, whether it is a simple conversation, whether it is the natural order of the human body or the natural order of the planet. Like the planet is a living being, which is why when we take minerals and things from it, it replenishes it, just like the human body. The God made an example for everything. Like even if you were never taught anything, you should be able to look at the natural order of things, and you will be able to understand how your body works.
Yeah. Honestly, I was just throwing that question in. But like we don't even have to like dive too deep in it anyway.
I would submit that 95 to probably 97% of people who follow the religion ain't even read the book
Almost definitely.
in its entirety. Specifically, they probably know like excerpts that they hear the pastor preach, but I feel like as like cover to cover, I don't think people, which is crazy to me. Like you follow something wholeheartedly and you believe in everything. Not that you need to, but
that's why people like literally like, I do feel like those are the cons about church. That's why people don't go to church. I was gonna ask you because I know you're like a new dad as well. I was like, do you go to church? Do you raise your kids in church? Well, not kids. You only have one.
I only got one kid.
You only got one
me
kid.
personally, I do want them to grow up in church same way I did, bro. That's a good foundation, like for real. But it's like after a while, like I don't think going to church is wrong. Like no, go to church, like cool. But do I feel like you need to go to church to go to heaven? Nah. Like first of all, that's just why you got to understand the body. Like it's a code. First of all, like the temple that you're supposed to worship in, like the temple is you. The temple that God resides in,
right,
is
it's us.
You.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like God, even Jesus said that ye are gods. You feel me? It's like Jesus came down here to show people that y'all are my kids. Like, so what I'm gonna show you what y'all can do.
Right.
You feel me? And if you actually wake up, like imagine if you were to ascend your mind and body the way the Bible is telling you to do it, but it's telling you in a code using stories, using real stories. You feel me? Because people gonna want to have proof one day. That's because God's a genius. So yeah, you can go and dig this stuff up. You can go and find out if this story was true, if that story was true, if that's okay. And now because you have the proof, now you're gonna believe the story even more.
Right.
Okay, cool. Now that you believe the story, you might do enough research to figure out, oh, this is a real event, but God ain't really telling me this story. He telling me this secret within the story. Oh, snap.
I have a random question also about like religion as well, because I'm like, what is it saying is like adultery? That's a big sin that I feel like is like brushed under the carpet in our society, like cheating and like stepping outside of like your relationship. Like,
You want to know why? Because it disrupts the natural order. Like this
oh
is
my God, what is the natural order?
things that are supposed to be done in the right way. Like there's no other way to get this done but the right way. Like that's
Which
the
is?
natural order. So for example, if I'm married to somebody and I have made a vow with my partner that you are going to be the only person that I'm going to be with. This person they have invisible ties, invisible bonds. The natural order is for me to keep these invisible bonds intact. The moment I start to do anything to cut these bonds, that's disrupting the natural order. You feel me? Like that itself, that's why it's a sin. Because now you creating a feeling, a vibration, an energy within this person that is not a good one. You feel me? And this person has to live with either choosing to forgive you or choosing to hate you. And we don't need no more hate in the world for no slight reason. So
But we don't always have to forgive adulterers.
So natural order. So it's like it's two lesbians going. Is that still a sin? 'Cause I'm
okay,
like, they can't.
God called sodomy a abomination. I'm not about to say like this is just me. He ain't say nothing about lesbians because two women getting together does not disrupt the natural order. I mean, even back now, like I'm like being
Yeah,
real.
the natural order only applies to men.
No,
and men only.
No, like if I'm thinking about the natural order, like how does a woman body work? Like naturally, how does a woman body work? If a man gets her pregnant, she can't sexually do anything for 9 months. You feel me? Like it is like if we were literally just surviving, skip all of the morals that we know. If we were just like beasts out here in the world,
Right.
we would be trying to procreate as much to preserve the gene.
Right.
You feel me? Like that's how reality works.
Right.
But we as people, we God has given us dominion over the world. So we can set rules like these invisible rules that we setting.
Right.
You feel me? Where we can use our brain to make thoughts to make people feel bad for doing something that is really of the natural order. It's not natural for a woman to give herself to every man because it's like you have to understand what your vessel is. Beside like you, first of all, you're not your vessel. You are a divine spirit being, and this is a vehicle. So our spirit ain't got no male or woman gender. We get too caught up into the physical, which is why you can never reach your divinity.
I agree. Are you married?
About to be, yeah.
Did you propose?
No, that's gonna be a surprise. I'm doing that next year.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Doing that next year.
Damn. Wait, she can't watch.
No, she can watch.
She already knows.
She don't. Yeah, she knows.
It's not like a surprise.
When it's gonna be though.
So about having kids, like being married first. Did you want to be married first before you had a kid? Like having babies out of wedlock. You know how people talking about.
Yeah, first of all, most definitely. Like I had to pray on that. No, for real.
It is.
Yeah, I had to pray about that, bro. Because first of all, I wanted to have a kid after I was 30, after I was married.
Right.
You feel me? But me out here being sinful. You feel me? Not listening. I didn't messed up and had to pay the price of having a baby before I wanted to have a baby. Now I'm dealing with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Right. You feel me? But had I listened to the Lord Jesus Christ, I wouldn't be in this situation because he said, "Don't be." You feel me?
The flesh gets us all.
Yeah, it's the flesh.
I just get out of there. That's the only difference with me. I'm out of
bro.
there. I get that little tingly feeling.
Hey, bro.
You think marriage is important in your religion? Because in the Bible, marriage is super, super, super important.
Okay, first of all, I'm about to tell y'all.
And how you feel about polygamy too? I want to know about how you feel.
Okay, first of all, this is what I believe about marriage. I don't believe marriage starts when you put the ring on a woman's finger.
Period.
Like marriage, like honestly, like we gotta.
You are so funny though.
We gotta understand like what the word mean. Like if we use the word out of the context of what we using, what does marriage mean? To come together and be one, right?
Right.
Marriage starts when you and that woman has a child. When you get a girl pregnant, that is your wife. Let's take it all the way back to
Not
Genesis.
your baby mommy.
Eve didn't have a name until she had her first kid. He called her woman. And then when she was like, you feel me, about to have kids, he gave her the name Eve and said that she was his wife. Because what did that mean? Like, what did that symbolize? It symbolized the male and the female coming together as one. And then a whole being came out of that oneness. That's what marriage is. It's the amalgamation of two different genealogies coming together, two different DNAs being made one. That's marriage. You feel me? So life starts at conception. Life starts when the male, you feel me, sperm hits the egg, and it's a little spark of light that you got to use a super microscope to see, but it happens. But when that light go off, it's over with. Like,
That's what we are, guys.
it's over with. Like, you in there.
We won the sperm race.
Most definitely.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy.
Like, we're the most living out of all our generations.
You came out a winner.
for sure.
And we won. Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
your
Or
dad
did
racing
we?
different versions of himself.
Like, nobody should have depression. If they ever had they down, it's just know you came out into this world
Depression
number one.
is very much real.
Out of like a million,
You feel me?
Yeah,
Out
yeah,
of a
but that's
million,
true.
boy, you beat
That's
it.
true,
You
that's
came
true.
out number
you
one.
made it.
At the very, like, life has some
Nigga,
perks.
we made it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now polygamy. Okay.
Yes, polygamy.
Do I feel like polygamy is right or wrong? I feel like, first of all, polygamy should be the way. Not because I'm the type of dude that want a lot of women, but it makes more sense for continuing the human race. Like, number one is, like, if you want to be in a poly relationship, as a man, you have the responsibility
Mm-hmm.
to treat every woman that you with the same. You have to protect and you have to provide
Mm-hmm.
for all of these women. And if you can't do that, you feel me? If you can't create a happy home,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't be, in a poly relationship.
That's real.
Because you, as the man, as the leader, you have to be able to lead this tribe that you're trying to make.
Right.
And if you can't lead it, if you can't support it, if you can't protect it, if you can't provide for it, then no, it's not for you to have. And in the world that we live in, it sounds nice, but a lot of dudes can't do that right now.
Right.
You feel me? They barely can take care of themselves.
Or one girl.
Or a girl.
Yeah, or keep one girl happy.
You feel me?
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
See,
anyway.
but okay,
Basically,
I'm just keeping a woman happy. Hold on, I'm about to just be real. That was not man's purpose. We don't even know how to do that.
This nigga
For
talking.
for the simple fact that,
Talking.
and I'ma just be real, women don't even know how to do that. Y'all, like, women have to be
we don't know how to keep a man.
do what? Women don't even know how to keep a man happy. They don't know y'all don't know how to keep yourselves happy.
Bitches
feel
all up
me?
on social media. His
Like,
prettiest
in order
problem. His
for a
prettiest
woman to
problem.
know what
That's the problem. Y'all
happiness
trying to be a
is,
nigga problem. Be a nigga piece.
She got to see it somewhere and try to replicate it for herself. Because women are creatures that God made to be poured into. You feel me? So we supposed to give y'all and show y'all happiness, but what y'all do is y'all look for happiness everywhere else, and then y'all try to replicate it in y'all life. You feel me? It's like, to a certain degree, a woman creates in her mind what she wants for herself and try to make everything in her life fit into that bubble. And when it does not fit into that bubble, that's when women disrupts.
But a lot of men are not honest because you guys, not you, but like a lot of them are like, oh, men are not naturally polyamorous. But like they tell women they want them to be their one and only or some shit.
Okay,
So you're lying about what you
men can't
want to
be
do.
men cannot be honest with women. There's only a certain answer that y'all want to hear. If men
That's the realest
were-
shit I ever heard in my life.
If we
Oh my
was
God.
actually honest with y'all would think we was lazy, not shit. We
Y'all
don't
can't
care,
handle male
none of that.
honesty.
Yeah, and it's like,
If I pull up with
not
my
like
dick
that.
out at the door, you gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like, most niggas just put on the movie first. That's a form of lying. Me putting on the movie first is me lying to you.
You feel me?
Because I know I
God.
just want some pussy,
On
but
some
I'm like,
real.
I gotta worry about how you feel.
And
your-
low key, the type of
and how-
the type of things and people that you bring into your life, bro. Like, if you get a dude like that, that's because you attracted a person like that.
Well, yeah, and that's a good trait. There's nothing wrong with like Put it on a movie first.
No,
Jesus, have some
you
decorum.
want you exactly.
Please.
You want the nigga that put the movie on first. But I'm just saying,
please,
yeah.
have some decorum.
him having decorum was him also lying to you. That's what we saying. The nice nigga that you like, it was also a little
If
deceptive.
that's lies, then give us more.
Yeah, you guys want the soft lies, but don't want the hard truths.
But I mean, at the same
I'm
time,
outnumbered.
you feel me? At the same, it's like you got
I'm fucking outnumbered.
on both sides. It's like y'all created a game that became fun because y'all understood the instincts of a man was to hunt. You feel me? So
Yeah.
y'all used that to y'all advantage. And
Well,
it's
bring
like
back hunting. They don't even want to do that.
It's all
anymore.
part
But
of
anyway,
the game.
y'all the game.
Anyway.
The
We
women
do.
are the game. That's it.
It is a game.
Yeah.
We do gotta wrap it up. Before we get out of here, I want to ask this rapid fire Detroit questions. In your opinion, what's your favorite Coney Island?
Yo, Georgia's on 6 Mile.
Real nigga.
On my
Real
mama.
nigga.
Wait,
real
another
nigga
one.
shit.
Coney
Real
Island
nigga
or-
shit. L. Georgia's on 6 Mile is undefeated. Stop playing.
Boy, what?
Boo. Coney Island or Bucharest.
Coney got to.
Way more options, bro. I ain't trying to eat that. I'm not even gonna.
What's
say
your
it, bro.
go-to meal at that bitch?
If I'm at the 6 Mile Jones, it's a grilled chicken pita all
Grilled
day.
chicken
You
pita.
feel me?
A
But
classic.
anywhere else, it's either gonna be like some chicken or it's gonna be some breakfast, probably.
I like their breakfast. I like their pitas. I actually kind of like their burgers as well.
Oh, they
Their
burgers
the
fire.
chili cheese
They burgers
dogs.
fire.
Coney's is so underrated. Not gonna lie.
Honestly, when I first
you-
moved here, it was trash. But
I mean, it's
when you
like
kinda
it's
eat
trash
it a
until
little
you
more.
turn and you like, do I want some Alfredo right now?
yeah,
And everywhere is closed. And you like, you know what? I'm really wild for getting a Coney Alfredo, but that bitch in the moment
It
be
be
smacking.
slacking.
I don't know what
It
niggas
be
is talking
sure,
about.
Slacking,
sure.
bro.
I agree.
Oh man, Darius.
I agree.
I don't know. Before we got out here, is there anything you wanted to like promote, social media, anything where niggas can find you if they got questions? 'Cause
Oh,
it's
right.
obviously very knowledgeable
Very
of the
knowledgeable.
Bible and conspiracies. You got a lot more shit that we ain't get to today. Got to all of this shit. This should be 8 hours. This should be a whole series.
Oh no,
Y'all gonna have to buy the ebook.
Yeah, no, I'm actually. I try to stay off the radar. So if it's anything that we talked about today, maybe
Mr.
your
Robot
viewers
vibes.
would-
He said
Like I
he's
said.
strange man, or what was he? What was your
regular guy. man.
Right. You're a regular guy. He's just a chill guy.
He's just a chill guy.
He's just
guys.
a chill guy.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me and Miracle here at the People Mover Pod every week. Yeah, Malcolm Elliott music on everything. But Christmas episode, we talked a lot of stuff today. I appreciate episode 13 because we don't fuck with 12.
Because we don't fuck with you.
Episode 12.
1,
This was
2.
fun. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yay.
We appreciate you coming on.